You have to press the button. It's not turned on. So this is almost a lesson for my son on how to turn a camera on. So he's taking a photograph. So we're down on the banks of Loch Insh, which some of you might know is a bit of a mecca for water sports, lots of canoeing, surfboarding, and all that type of stuff. In fact, we had a bit of a capsizing incident earlier in the week. Unfortunate capsizing incident, not my fault. Blame Una. But if she's watching this, Una, it was my fault. So anyway, we're down. It's just before 9 o'clock, as you can see, hopefully in the background. Nice bit of clouds, and we're getting ready to take some photos as the sun goes down. As we were driving down, we saw some nice rainbows, so it'd be nice if some of those clouds spill a bit of rain and we get some rainbows. And Martin's acting like a complete goober in the background. But that's what you got to put when you got a 14-year-old son.
I'm 16.
Oh yeah, you just act like you're 14. So anyway, keep you posted on how this goes. So just thought I'd give you, for those of you who are a bit technically minded, just some information. I've got my camera on manual. Well, I normally always use it on manual, so it's on manual, f16, and I'm just focusing on these trees here. So take a kind of manual look at those trees with the manual focus on them, and then hopefully f16 gives me enough depth of field to include kind of most of what we're looking at. And I'm just underexposing a little bit because of the colour in the sky. You can see hopefully quite a bit of brightness in that sky, so just underexposing a little bit to compensate for that, because that brightness is being picked up in the loch as well. So hopefully when we have a look at that, it looks decent. In fact, let's see how the last image looks. Yeah, not bad. So the highlights are not too blown out, and there's enough detail in the trees and stuff for me to be able to draw that out in software processing later on. So going well so far, and Martin's not being too annoying
Yet.
Go on, carry on killing time. So I can't remember whether this is my 4th or 5th video, but by the time I put it on YouTube, I'll know. Nice bit of sunlight coming, you can see hopefully in the background. But I thought, I've done a few of these videos, and I've not mentioned the lens I use for landscape work. So this is a Canon 1740. It's quite a common lens in landscape activity. I've had it for quite a long time, and it really the only lens I use in landscape work. Or I use a couple of others occasionally, but mostly this is kind of my go-to lens. I tend to find that I use it more at the 17 end of the range rather than the 40, but if I go to 17, I'm right at 17 now, but I always knock it back just a little bit, just a fraction, because I find it a bit sharper, and you get a truer end result if it's not at the extreme of either end. So it's just something I've got in the habit of doing, is going right to the 17 end and then just almost imperceptible turn. You can tell when you look through the lens, but you can't tell when you're just kind of looking at it from that type of angle. But if you're interested in landscape photography and you haven't got a lens that you use for landscape, I'd recommend the 1740. You can find them reasonably cheaply on eBay, because there's so many of them around and so many people use them, that you can usually pick up a good deal on eBay. So just thought you might find interesting to see some of the equipment I use. Maybe in other videos I'll give you a few bits of detail about some of the other equipment I use as well. But for now, that's all in the lens. And you've noticed I've got the Midgie net back on because there's lots out. But it's just about 9 o'clock. The sun goes down in another 15 minutes or so. So hoping we've had some good light on those clouds in the distance. So I think I've got a couple of decent images, but we're going to hang around for a little bit and see what happens. And there's a bonus, can't see it at the moment, but the moon is out. It's behind the clouds at the moment, so it might be nice. If it goes a bit darker, might get the moon to feature in some of the images as well. So as you can probably see from the background, the sun is now down. We got some nice light earlier on, and I'm quite pleased with what we got. as is always the case with these things, you don't really know how they're going to turn out until you get home and look at them on a kind of big screen on the computer. So, but the back of the camera results look quite good. I was quite pleased with the way the clouds formed and the nice light. So I'll process those images and then I'll put them, if I can work it out. I think I've said that a few times now, how to stick it on the end of these videos. I might do a before and after as well, so before I process it and after I process. But no promises, just wait until the video finishes and then see what's there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. Cheers.